Welcome to SATV News. This is Shahala Binti Shafi with the headlines. Usman Mahadi's condition still critical. Treatment abroad planned if condition improves. Six Bangladeshi peacekeepers killed, 8 injured in Sudan. UN base attack. ISPR releases identifies. Tariq Rahman will be given an unprecedented public reception, says Fakhrul. Historic welcome awaits on homecoming. Inqilab Monch leader Sharif Osman bin Haidi, who was critically injured in a gun attack on Friday, remains in the same condition as of this morning at Evake Hospital. Clinically, there has been no improvement. The condition remains the same. It is very concerning, but we can say it is essentially unchanged, said Dr. Abdul Ahad, resident of the Department of Neurosurgery at Dhaka Medical College and Hospital and member of Secretary of the National Health Alliance. The condition of the brain is very serious, the doctor said, adding that the repeat CT scan has come back extremely poor, showing a large amount of brain edema. In other words, there is significant tightness and oxygen deficiency in the brain, and in some areas there appears to be small scattered clots. He also said the lungs remain as before with life support, maintaining respiration. Kidney function is normal with a urine output of 4 liters and the fluid balance is being managed according to that output. The disseminated intravascular coagulation caused by extensive clotting is also unchanged and no new crisis has developed. The injury to the brainstem remains serious and the operated side of the brain is slightly pressing outward. The Inter-Service Public Relations Directorate ISPR today released the identities of 6 Bangladeshi peacekeepers killed and 8 others injured in a drone attack on a UN logistics base in Sudan. The fallen peacekeepers were Corporal Muhammad Masud Rana, Muhammad Momidul Islam, Shamim Reza Shantamondol, Meswaiter Muhammad Jahangir Alam and laundry worker Muhammad Shobuj Mia. ISPR said on a press statement that a separatist armed group carried out a drone attack on the Kadugli logistics base under the United Nations peacekeeping mission in the Abyei area of Sudan between approximately 3:40 p.m. and 3:50 p.m. local time yesterday. The injured peacekeepers are Lieutenant Colonel Khondokar Khalikuzaman and Sergeant Muhammad Mustaqim Hussain, Corporal Afroza Parvin Iti, Lance Corporal Mohibul Islam, Private Muhammad Misbaul Kobir, Private Umme Hami Akhtar, Private Chumki Akhtar and Private Muhammad Manazir Ahsan. According to ISPR, all 8 are receiving medical treatment. Among them, Private Misbaul, in critical condition, has already undergone a successful surgery and is currently under close observation. BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir on Sunday said BNP Acting Chairman Tariq Rahman will be given an unprecedented public reception on his return to Dhaka from London, unlike any reception given to a political leader in the past. I want to express our deepest gratitude to the Almighty Allah that after living in exile for long 18 years, our leader, inshallah, will return to us on December 25th. This is a great source of inspiration for us, he said. The BNP leader made the remarks at a discussion meeting titled National Parliamentary Election is Essential to Protect Democracy at a Critical Time for the Nation, organized by the Jatiyotabadi Muktijoddha Dol and Jatiyotabadi Muktijoddha Projonmo at the Diploma Engineers Institute Auditorium in Kakrail. Let us welcome him on December 25th in such a way that no leader in Bangladesh has ever received before. We are all prepared, inshallah, he added. Referring to Tariq Rahman's return, Fakhrul said, the news has brought reassurance at a time of great anxiety. On one hand, our leader and former Prime Minister Begum Khaleda Zia is ill and undergoing treatment in hospital. On the other hand, amid uncertainty, Tariq Rahman is the guiding light who shows us the way forward and he will be among us on the 25th, he said. BNP Chairperson's Advisory Council members Abdus Salam and Said Mozammen Hussain Alal, Party Liberation War Affairs Secretary Joinul Abidin and several leaders of the Mukti Juddho Dol and Mukti Juddho Projonmo addressed the meeting. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs today summoned the Indian High Commissioner Verma to convey Bangladesh's concerns over what it described as anti-election activities involving the fugitive political figures currently staying in India. According to a press release issued by the ministry, Bangladesh expressed serious concerns over former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's continued public statement, which the government said were encouraging her supporters to engage in violent activities aimed at disrupting the upcoming parliamentary elections. During the meeting, Bangladesh reiterated its request for the extradition of Sheikh Hasina and former Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan Kamal to face sentences issued by judicial authorities in Bangladesh. The ministry also drew the envoy's attention to the activities of fugitive Awami League members residing in India, alleging that they were involving in planning, organizing and facilitating violent acts inside Bangladesh to obstruct the election process. It urged the Indian government to take prompt steps to stop such activities and to extradite those involved. Leaders and activists of various political parties, representatives of socio-cultural organizations, students and political people from all walks of life today paid rich tributes to the martyred intellectuals at the Raya Bajar Martyred Intellectual Memorials in the capital, marking Martyred Intellectuals Day. From the early hours of the day, people began placing floral wreaths at the memorial under the banner of different parties and organizations to honor the memories of the nation's brightest sons who were killed in 1971. As the mourning progressed, a large number of visitors gathered at the site. During visits in the morning, the presence of school and college students and general people was more noticeable than that of political party activists. Freedom fighters, BNP leaders and activists from different Thana and ward units, Dhaka University, Central Students Union, leaders, students from Dhaka University halls, Dhaka College, Dhaka Commerce College, Residential Model College and several other educational institutions, along with political and voluntary organizations, paid homage at the memorial from the morning. Concerns over the safety of politicians have emerged as a major issue ahead of the next national election, alongside worries about the voter security and the protection of vulnerable communities, economist Bhattacharya said today, referring to the recent attack on Sharif Osman Hadi, a prospective independent candidate from Dhaka 8 and spokesperson for Inqilab Moncho. He said targeted violence against political figures has raised serious alarms. Security has now become a very important issue. Not only voters or vulnerable groups, but politicians themselves are also at risk, said the convener of the Citizens Platform for SDGs. He said people across the country fear a rise in political violence during the election period and question whether the government and the Election Commission would be able to ensure a safe and fair environment for all political actors. Also, a distinguished fellow at the Center for Policy Dialogue made the remarks while delivering the opening speech at the inauguration of Bangladesh Reform Tracker at the Bangladesh-China Friendship Conference Center. Viewers, we are taking a short break. Please stay with us.
সারা দেশে লাখো মানুষের কঠোর কর্মতৎপরতা ও নিষ্ঠায় এসএ পরিবহন পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস এখন 16 কোটি মানুষের হাতের নাগালে। দীর্ঘ 30 বছর ধরে বিশ্বস্ততা ও দ্রুততার সাথে সেবা দেওয়ায় গ্রাহক সেবায় এখন শীর্ষে। বাংলাদেশে গ্রাহক সেবার সাফল্যের পর এসএ পরিবহন পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস এখন বিশ্ব বাণিজ্য কেন্দ্র সিঙ্গাপুরে। আপনার যে কোনো পণ্য সিঙ্গাপুর থেকে বাংলাদেশে বুকিং এর জন্য যোগাযোগ করুন। SA পরিবহন প্রাইভেট লিমিটেড, লজিস্টিক্স, পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস, 22 Roberts Lane, Singapore 218302. Phone 006562.
Welcome back. You're watching SATV News. Two suspected shooters opened fire at Sydney's iconic Bondi Beach on Sunday, killing 9 people and wounding multiple others in an attack that spread panic, with bodies reported lying on the ground. Another 11 wounded were rushed to various hospitals at one of the biggest tourist draws in Australia's largest city, New South Wales police said. One of the alleged shooters was killed and the second was in a critical condition, they said. We heard the shots. It was shocking. It felt like 10 minutes of just bang, bang, bang. It seemed like a powerful weapon. Camilo Diaz, a 25-year-old student from Chile. Crowds fled in fear from the beach in eastern Sydney, which drew huge numbers of the surfers, swimmers and tourists, especially at the weekends. Emergency services first responded to the reports of shots being fired at 6:45 p.m., New South Wales police said. A number of suspicious items located in the vicinity are being examined by specialist officers and an exclusion zone is in place, police said in a statement. Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan, fresh from a meeting with Russia's Vladimir Putin, said he hopes to discuss a Ukraine-Russia peace plan with US President Donald Trump, adding that peace is not far away. Erdogan met Putin in Turkmenistan on Friday and they evaluated comprehensive peace efforts to end the war, to a statement from Erdogan's office said on Friday, with Turkey reiterating its readiness to support peace efforts. After this meeting with Putin, we hope to have the opportunity to discuss the peace plan with US President Trump as well. Peace is not far away, we see that, Erdogan told reporters on his return flight from Turkmenistan. Erdogan had told Putin on Friday that a limited ceasefire is in the war focused on energy facilities and ports in particular could be beneficial. The Black Sea should not be seen as a battleground. Such a situation would only harm Russia and Ukraine, Erdogan said in comments released by his office on Saturday. Everyone needs safe navigation in the Black Sea. This must be ensured. Russia attacked 2 Ukrainian ports on Friday, damaging 3 Turkish-owned vessels, including a ship carrying food supplies. Thailand announced a curfew in southeastern Trach province on Sunday as fighting with Cambodia spread to coastal areas of a disputed border region 2 days after US President and would-be peacemaker Donald Trump said the sides had agreed to stop. The Southeast Asian neighbors have restored to arms several times this year since a Cambodian soldier was killed in a May skirmish, reiterating a conflict that has displaced hundreds of thousands of people on both sides of the border. Overall, there have been clashes continuously since Cambodia again reiterated its openness to a ceasefire on Saturday, Thai Defense Ministry spokesperson Rear Admiral Sushant Kongstreet told a press conference in Bangkok after announcing the curfew. Thailand is open to a diplomatic solution, but Cambodia has to cease hostility first before we can negotiate, he said. Thai forces on Saturday said they had destroyed a bridge that Cambodia used to deliver heavy weapons and other equipments to the region and launched an operation targeting pre-positioned artillery in Cambodia's coastal Koh Kong province. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer and European Commissioner President Ursula von der Leyen on Saturday discussed work on US-led peace proposals for Ukraine and moves to use frozen Russian sovereign assets to help provide funds for Kyiv. Both agreed this is a pivotal moment for Ukraine's future and that Europe will stand with them for as long as it takes to achieve a just and lasting peace, a Downing Street spokesperson said after the two leaders spoke.
What I see is a strong Europe, united behind Ukraine and united behind our long-standing values of freedom and democracy, and I will always stand up for those values and those freedoms.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Saturday that he would meet US and European representatives in Berlin to discuss fundamentals of peace. Zelensky said Ukraine needed a dignified peace and a guarantee that Russia, which invaded his country in 2022, would not attack again. Germany said earlier on Saturday that it would host US and Ukrainian delegations over the weekend for talks on a ceasefire in Ukraine before a summit involving European leaders and Zelensky in Berlin on Monday.
Триває відновлення. Непросто, але задіяні всі необхідні сили.
2 US Army soldiers and a civilian interpreter were killed in Syria on Saturday by a suspected Islamic State attacker who targeted a convoy of American and Syrian forces before being shot dead, the US military said. The attack was barely a month after Syria announced it had signed a political cooperation agreement with the US-led coalition against Islamic State, which coincided with Syrian President Ahmed al-Shara's visit to White House. The attacker was a member of the Syrian security forces, 3 local officers told Reuters. A Syrian Interior Ministry spokesperson told a state-run television channel that the man did not have a leadership role in the security forces. On 10 December, an evaluation was issued indicating that this attacker might hold extremist ideas, and a decision regarding him was due to be issued tomorrow on Sunday. The spokesperson Ilbaba today Syrian television channel Al Ikhbariya. Tens of thousands of rallies of the party of Nepal's ousted Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli on Saturday in the largest gathering in the Himalayan country since youth-led anti-graft protests forced him out 3 months ago. Police estimated 70,000 attended in the rally in Bhaktapur near the capital Kathmandu to launch a 3-day convention of the Communist Party of Nepal. Organizers had said before the rally they would bring out 300,000 people. The event is the biggest mobilization of supporters by any party in the capital since the anti-graft protests, said political analyst Puranjan Acharya. The Gen Z protest and subsequent unrest killed 77 people and injured more than 2,000 in September. Oli and some other politicians had to be rescued and kept safe by the army for several days. By the Prime Minister's office, the Supreme Court and Parliament were set on fire. The interim government, headed by the former Chief Justice Sushila Karki, dissolved Parliament. It says the unrest caused more than $586 million in losses to Nepal's $42 billion economy.
The Communist Party of Nepal, around 70,000 people attended, significantly fewer than the
More than 400 law enforcement personnel were deployed on Saturday as police sought the suspect in a shooting at Brown University in Rhodes Island that left 2 students dead and another 9 people wounded at the Ivy League school, officials said. The Providence University remained in lockdown hours after a suspect with a firearm entered a building where the students were taking exams. Officials do not believe there is any specific ongoing threat from the suspect, Providence Mayor Brett Smiley said late Saturday, but with the law enforcement agencies canvassing the area and conducting a manhunt, a shelter-in-place order for the campus and the surrounding neighborhood will remain for now. The shelter-in-place allows law enforcement to do their work in the first phase of the investigation, Smiley said. Streets around the campus were packed with emergency vehicles and security was heightened around the city as law enforcement agencies sought the gunman who has not yet been identified, officials said. Agents from the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives are working with local and state police on the investigation. Before ending, we go through the headlines again. Osman Hadi's condition still critical, treatment abroad planned if condition improves. 6 Bangladeshi peacekeepers killed, 8 injured in Sudan UN base attack. ISPR releases identities. Tariq Rahman will be given an unprecedented public reception, says Fakhrul. Historic welcome awaits on homecoming. You're updated on our top stories so far here on SATV, and to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with SATV.